Hey guys, Coach Ben here, bigbenchas.com, and today we're going to talk about some common leg drive mistakes when it comes to bench pressing. Don't make these mistakes, see your bench jump up. Mistake number one comes down to creating a bridge with your leg drive. And what I mean by that is you're pushing into the floor and lifting your hips up. Primarily, the huge reason why people will have a hard time keeping their butts down on the pad is because they are bridging up, not pushing back. So I'm going to show you what that looks like right here. All right, many lifters, when they start their leg drive, they're doing this. You can see how I'm lifting my hips up, I'm squeezing my glutes, but I'm pushing into the floor with my legs, just as if I was doing a glute bridge. And you can see how everything lifts up. Yeah, that will help me create leverage when I bench press, but now, look, my butt's off the pad. So that's a cause for a red light in the meet. We want to try to avoid that at all costs. So instead of executing leg drives such as a bridge, we want to focus on, if there's a wall extended in front of us, it was as if we're pushing off that wall. So see how I changed the leg drive. This is bridging. All right, this is pushing back. And all I did was change where I'm applying that force. Mistake number two, you're not using your glutes properly. I like to teach leg drive by using the glutes and the hips because it's going to be much stronger and stable, in my opinion, than just relying on your quads and or not getting any glute activation at all. What I mean by use your glutes, when you set up to create your leg drive, we want to be in a position where we can effectively squeeze our hips, drive outwards, all right, and I want my hips to light up. I want to think bench from the hips. When I go to apply my leg drive, I want it to come from the hips, not just the quads, in terms of creating extension, okay? That's not a bad train of thought. Yeah, it's going to get you pushing in the right direction, but if we can use the powerhouse, which is the hips, which is a major player in all three lifts, squat, bench, and deadlift. If we can use our hips, we get our feet to a position where I can have my toes flared out, I can drive knees out. The real big cue here is drive knees out. I can light up my hips, and when I push back, right, I'm using my hips as opposed to just pushing through my quads. And that is going to give you a lot more stability with your bench press as well. Third mistake, timing your leg drive. How often do you see bench presses performed like this? The lifter takes the weight out, they typically lift their head, sink their rib cage, and then reserve a lot of their leg drive for the press. It looks like this. All right. You see how I was trying to time the leg drive with the press. All right, well, that's all good and fine. Yeah, you're creating leg drive when you go to press, but the leg drive is not helping you when you're descending with the bar. You're gonna have poor lat engagement. You're going to be very erratic with your press, and you are not going to maintain the best positioning. You're actually pressing the bar further than you have to when you do that. So instead, just think about maintaining constant leg drive. All right, you should be thinking, I'm applying 100% leg drive throughout the duration of my set. All right, so it'll look like this. All right, when I set up, I'm very active with the leg drives to get into the best setup. Take the bar out. I'm already applying leg drive. You can see how I want to slide back on the bench. Come down with the weight. I'm keeping position. I'm trying to meet the bar, and then I can fire out using my lats without losing anything. All right, so instead of trying to time your leg drive, I like to think of it as the 100 to 120 principle, which means I'm simply driving back as hard as possible at 100% intensity for the duration of the set. If I have anything left to give when I go to press, I'm trying to turn on the turbo boosters. I really should be pressing back as hard as possible already, but that's where that little extra 120% comes in. Really create that press through the lower body, let it transfer in through the bar. And mistake number 4, foot positioning. And I'm going to show you a fault for toes back benching, and I'm going to show you a fault for feet flat benching, because lifters utilize 2 different styles and they can be done so effectively. When it comes to toes back benching, the major mistake that happens here is when lifters set up too far on their tippy toes. So see them get in a position, they're so far up on their tippy toes that it's hard to even drive down. There's no active drive. It's mostly just now there's so much tension on my quads, I'm just kind of stuck in position. All right, I'm not able to actively drive down the way I would like. To fix this, just make sure if you're utilizing this style, you dig in with the balls of your feet. All right, now when I create leg drive and I drive those heels down, all right, I am actually able to actively create leg drive. And then in regards to having our feet out flat, the fault that I see most often is feet too close. Okay, so we end up with our feet way too close to where we can only extend back. We can't really drive our knees out and get our hips tight because I have no passive tension here. I want to be in a wide enough position here that by getting out to that spot, I already feel some hip tightness, okay? I don't want to be so close that I just can't even create that tightness by driving out. I want to be at least in a position where when I'm set up, I'm feeling some of that hip tension already, and I can just drive out and reinforce it. So there you have it, guys. 4 different leg drive faults that if you correct them, I'm confident you will see profound effects in your bench press. Coach Ben here. You know where to find me. You can meet me on the bench. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to learn more about how to increase your bench press, consider joining us in our Better Benching Academy. To learn more, simply click the link down below in the description box or visit bigbenchas.com/BB Academy. I'll see you there.